All right, everybody, welcome back. Will here from One Frequency United, making punk rock songs. So, hope anybody that's catching this is having an awesome time. Thoroughly enjoy putting out videos like this. I'm going to continue to throughout the rest of the spring and summer as we're working on our next album, Sick in Love. And then after that, I think we've got an acoustic album coming out and some geek jams. But so the last time I left you guys, I was working on laying down two guitars, right? So if you're at home recording, trying to figure out how to make punk rock songs, alternative songs, rock and roll songs, any type of songs, right? Maybe you'll find some value in this, maybe you won't, but I think specifically with the audience that I'm targeting, it's punk rock, right? So we've got one of the guitars panned to the left, we've got one panned to the right. We're using Amplitude 5, which if you're at home, you don't have an amp, you don't want to mic things up, you don't have a studio, maybe you don't have the room. I plug directly into Avid Carbon and play my Gibson through it, and it sounds great. I've never had a problem. I've recorded 4 albums. So you'll have guitar aficionados and enthusiasts out there that say otherwise, or maybe you need to do this, or mic a cabinet. But as you can see here, and there's also, I use ToneNet, right? So ToneNet, I've searched out this particular one, and they're created by fans. They're created by people out there, but this one is to mimic, and how close it is or not, I really don't care. It sounds good to me, right? It mimics linoleum, El Jefe's guitar on linoleum, right? So it has a 7-band graphic EQ on it. It has the particular settings on the Mesa, on the Mesa head. It has the cabinet, the mics that are used on it and everything. And as you see here, you can actually go in and choose anything that you want, right? So, and it depends on the package that you have. I mean, you do have to pay extra for like Amplitude 5 Max or whatever, but you can control the room, you control the speakers. They have certain collections here that you can choose from to get, a certain guitar sound that you want. And then even the stuff afterwards in the chain, right? Which, it gives me the sound that I'm looking for. At least one for punk rock, I really don't care. You know what I mean? Like it's 3 chords, 4 chords, 1, 2, 3, 4, go. So, so I guess it depends on what you're after and what you're looking for. But so we've got the guitars down. Some of the times after that, I'll lay down leads. But for right now, we're gonna go ahead and get the bass done. And since we're starting from scratch, or just because we're kicking things off, just to show that habit, right? Make sure you tune your instruments. And I know that sounds crazy, right? But I don't remember if it was in an article or a podcast or some interview that Fat Mike did, right? And he's like, No Effects makes all kinds of mistakes, or we always play wrong chords or whatever, but it's like, make sure your instruments are tuned, because that's, it just makes you sound like shit. So I try and remember to do that before, every take, before every single thing that I do. I don't always. There's quite a few jams that I have out there that are probably not where they need to be, but anyways, that's the reason for not getting tuned up before starting. Just to give that gentle reminder to make sure you tune your stuff. And do I have the wrong tuner on? No, that's it. Why is this not picking up? Oh, there it is. And if you appreciate the content and you want to see more of it, or if there's anything that we can teach or go over, appreciate any likes and comments and shares and that type of stuff. We do stream all the time on all platforms, making music live. If you look at any of the channels, there's a whole archive. There's a whole archive of content of streaming for hours and hours and hours of making music. All of it that landed on albums, all of it that wasn't there when I sat down that particular day. All right, so I don't remember what this song is at all. So let's see if I can find out where we were at, and we'll try and get the bass down. So same thing using Amplitude 5. So I think we're good. I think we got a song, right? So if we can get this laid down, then I'll throw some, depending on how I'm feeling, again, maybe one or two leads, maybe three or four, just so when I go back into the mixing and mastering process, we've got something down, right? So, but again, right, if you've got a guitar at home, get yourself a bass. Even just starter stuff, right? Like this is a Precision 2, it's a little bit more expensive. The Gibson was definitely wicked expensive, but I think when I started, I mean, I've been playing for 30 years. So when I started on like a $150 Kramer, I think it was, or something. I don't even remember, right? But it doesn't really matter, dude. Plug your gear in and write some jams, dude. If anybody needs help with mixing or mastering or help putting together songs or laying down some tracks, hit me up anytime and I will help you. So that was close, and bear with me, right? You can fast forward through this stuff, or you can watch all of it, or you can have it on in the background, or you can skip it, right? But it's a song making process, and rock and roll, right? thinking about it, one of my favorite things to do, and it's not like it's groundbreaking, right? But if you get to this point and you're playing an E, right, you can hit your E here, and you can hit it there or there, right, all over the place. But if I'm just looking for another tone, or if I'm looking to get a little bit something else out of it, and also and depending on what key I'm in, um, you know, a lot of times I'll jam it right here, but I'll almost without fail hit it here, right? Because then you can do stuff like this. All while you're playing E, right? So it just I kind of naturally go there. I do it a lot when I'm playing guitar too, right? If you're up here playing like an open E on your guitar, and then you play a power chord E right there, right? But and not that that's groundbreaking, but there's people that miss that, so whatever. If you've been playing 10, 15, 20, 30 years, you already know that stuff. But maybe this series isn't for you then. Oh man! All right, let's see if we can get this down. It's freaking warm up here. Cool, we got it. I think at the end I was trying to do something else. I think I wanted something like that, but I don't care. I don't want to do that anymore. So let's stamp that out. Ba-da-da. Oh man, it is super nasty weather out here in Tennessee. And let's switch things up. So when I'm doing my solos, for playing bass and rhythm guitar, I use a Dunlop 60 millimeter, classic gray ones, right? Or no, it's the Dunlop 60, yeah, .60 millimeter, right? And I think I heard that or read that from Fat Mike somewhere, and it could be garbage and totally untrue. I have no idea. But I spent a long time, when I was touring in the Navy, I played in a band, played all over the world, which was really rad. And I played with my fingers, right? But that was a lot of rock cover tunes, and we played like one Bad Religion tune. Everything else was, your typical 2-3 hour sets of rock covers. And I played with my fingers, and I still do to this day. I've got a Fender acoustic downstairs that I play daily, jamming out. When I play acoustic guitar, I don't use a pick at all. I haven't used a pick on an acoustic guitar in 15 years probably. And I just play a different style. Anyways, what I'm getting after is super long-winded like I always am. When I'm soloing, though, I use like the polar opposite. I use the Ernie Ball Prodigy 1.8 millimeter. And if you can see this thing, probably not, but man, it's sharp and it's pointy and it's fantastic. But I don't know. There isn't a lot of the stuff I do in leads for punk rock, or our songs, or whatever the hell you want to call our style of music, right? I mean, it's punk for sure. I mean, I grew up a punk rocker in Chicago in the 90s, and that's always been a big part of my life. But yeah, there's not solos through the whole fucking friggin' thing, right? But whatever. So that would be my other challenge to anybody that's watching this or catches this, or if we clip it, right? Make the music that you want to make for the world. I don't care if you're a rapper. I don't care if you're a jazz bass musician. I don't care if you're making spoken word, acoustic, whatever, dude. Create. Put stuff out there, man. It's what's going to be left when you're gone, while you're here, for people to enjoy. It's what's going to make you vulnerable and put yourself out there, right? This is 4 chords, frickin' drum loops, and some amp emulation, right? It's not like I'm on stage pouring my heart out or playing live to the world, but at the end of the day, it's a big part of me. I appreciate you guys watching it, and I would challenge you to get, creating your own stuff. Create that YouTube channel, create a social media thing, go register a domain name for a band that you want to create. Whatever it is, do it, and don't wait. Don't wait. So, rock and roll. So I think what I'll do is I'll do 2 takes, right? And then, like I said, when I go back and mix and master, I can pull out pieces of it. I can cut out entire parts of it, which a lot of it I do, right? And you'll hear any good mixing and mastering engineer say that the solo, will drown out the vocals. And I found that my vocals suck enough where it doesn't matter. Now, when I'm mixing Scarlett's stuff, though, I try and pull them out, or, lately I've been panning them 2 different solos to the left and right, which is what I'm going to do here. I do 1 high solo, 1 low solo, and we'll see how it sounds. But anyways, so I'll try a couple takes of this, unless I can just get this one down in one setting. I don't even really know what I'm going to do, right? I just find my way as I'm going. But I think we can figure it out, right? So right where it's supposed to be. Not there. So I think that's good for now. I think we can stick with that. I don't really want to mess around with this song anymore. Thank you. So from there, what I'll typically do is turn that one way down, at least for now. Once I get this one down, I'll pan this to the left, pan this to the right. And again, this is a little bit absurd for your typical punk rock tune, but I like really wide, no effectsy type stuff, or no use for a name. I think you guys have heard that plenty of times from me, but you know, the melodic type stuff. So all right. So for that one, there's parts of it that I definitely liked, and there's parts that I obviously jacked up. So we can just go ahead and duplicate, mute, and we'll just do one more, and then I think we're solid, good to go. We can pan that one all the way to the right, pan this one to the left, and we'll play with it a little bit and see how we sound. And there you have it. That was at a whole minute and 40 seconds, right? This is a typical punk rock song, right? So nothing special. Um, but hopefully, if nothing else, if you've made it this far, or if you watch the videos or any of my videos, it at least gives you some ideas, some things to work with, some things that you can do a little bit differently, maybe some chord structures or some patterns. I've got a ton of live content out there. Um, but seriously, y'all, if you've made it this far, any type of likes, shares, comments, we're out here grinding, making music every single day, putting out content, and deeply appreciate it. Right? It means a lot to me. I waited 30 years to start making music. I served in the military for 9 years. I had a financial practice. I've been in technology, right? I've been in the software game for a full decade in fintech and software development, software engineering. Um, but yeah, it means a lot to me to be able to share just about anything with y'all. So if nothing else, thanks for being here. Definitely appreciate you, and I hope you have a kick-ass day.